in the process of decision making in the first slide, we understood that we have to weigh the pros and cons in every situation that you are in. If you want to make better decisions, then this is an aspect of decision making. We weigh the pros and cons. Now, I am going to give you a tool called PMI. Okay, this tool has been designed by an awesome person called Edward De Bono. Have you all heard about Edward De Bono? Okay, the guy who created 6-hat thinking process. He created something called lateral thinking, and there are lots of books written by Edward De Bono. Right now, currently he's expired, he's no more with us, but truly an amazing person. And all his tools are so amazing to use and so simple to use. So that's why, to weigh the pros and cons and to make things ourselves more clearer in a situation that you are, let's take this tool. What you got to do is take a piece of paper and divide it into 3 columns. Write plus, minus, interesting, as you can see in the screen. Okay, and what you do is, in that particular situation you are in, write down under the column plus, what is plus, what is the benefits of that, what are the advantages, what did you like about it, if you are in school, college, what did you learn, or if you are in a training, what did you learn about it, what will you have done well, if you have given an exam, what you would have done well, what would I have done well in that exam. Okay, so all the plus and the benefit parts. The minus is the opposite of plus. What is negative about it, what is bad about it, what are the different disadvantages you can see, what is it that you did not like, what did you not understand, and what things could have been improved. What are the things over there that could have been improved? And now if you notice that we think that plus and minus are the only thing, I am inviting you to pause here next time and write down what is interesting about it. Okay, in a situation, what is interesting about it, and let me tell you that this tool is to be written down on a piece of paper. You cannot do this inside your head. When you write it down, it makes a huge difference. So what is interesting? It is neither good nor bad. These are points of interest in that situation or in that person. Okay, if it is a person, you can think about it as a person, as a situation. So you can apply this plus and minus PMI anywhere. Okay, what is interesting about that subject? What might be the consequences of action or no action? What makes you think about it? And if you have any questions, write down all questions, which are questions makes it more interesting. So let's take an example of this so that it becomes very clear. Let's take the situation. Okay, before we go into the example, once written down, score each one of the points from a range of +5 to -5 and total it. So take point number 1 in plus, 2, 3, 4, rate it, each point to be rated. Clear? So let's go to the example part. So I am going to take the terrorist attack of 26/11 in Mumbai. So what are the pluses about it? It brought the whole India together. It brought India. India seems to have mentally fragmented, isn't it? The moment people knew that it was a terrorist attack and the kind of horrific incidents that it was, which I have written in the minus, so it brought us together as Indians. That time we were not belonging to different states, different communities. We became one immediately. Okay, it is unfortunate that horrific incidences is what binds us together, but that's how it was. Like pre-independence, when we started becoming Indians first, before we were Gujaratis or Maharashtrians or Punjabis or anything. So it brought us together. The world came on our side. We were waiting for an opportunity to tell the world that such and such a country, this terrorism is, Pakistan is the center hub of terrorism in this part of the world. So world came on our side. There were a lot of people who were saved. That was the plus part of it. Of course, there were a lot of people who were massacred, innocent people were massacred. Heroic stories started coming up over a period of time. a lot of heroic stories. And the plus is that we had proof against Pakistan this time. The minus about it was that it was a pretty horrific incident. Many innocent people were killed. We were taken by a surprise. If you can find out any other minuses, please you can add them. This is just an example. But let's now go to the interesting part. The sea border needed to be strengthened. We thought about that people could enter our country through the sea border, but we never took it seriously. Okay, so sea border needed to be strengthened. That was the interesting part of it. We never ever thought. Secondly, the intelligence had a warning. So after this happened, don't you think so? There could be times we could take our intelligence a little more seriously. Many times when such warnings are given to us, we don't really take it seriously. So does our intelligence department need to be trusted a little more than necessary, than what we actually do, is the question. That's the interesting part of it. Kasab was caught alive was a superbly interesting part of it, and we could amass a humongous amount of information against Pakistan. So the total comes to 23. Now if you add that, because the total comes to a plus, obviously it makes me clearer that yes, this is the plus side. Most of the people will relate to this as a negative incidence. But if you really ask all these questions and put this, you will find that this incidence was something which was different, not just a negative experience, right? So I hope you get the point of what is the plus minus interesting part of it. Now what I want you all to do is write down on a piece of paper a situation at work or in your life, personal, social, relatives, family, or your personal life. A situation where you are either have made a decision, write something about what decision you have taken, or if you are on the process of making a decision, you have not made the decision, what am I going to do about it? Or what am I not going to do about it? Or something which you are not sure about, maybe I will do this, write something about that and leave the better decision is after the end of the session. We'll come back to this page and I will ask you to write the better decision is, so that you know that this process is super powerful.